Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna be making a meatloaf today. Something I've kind of been modifying since I was about 17 years old. About to date myself here. Obviously, if you follow my channel, you already know I'm 39, but in the early 2000s had a web TV. Well, my mom did. And I got curious because I was tired of eating the same meatloaf all the time, classic traditional meatloaf. And so anyways, I saw an infomercial where they made a meatloaf wrapped in bacon, and that intrigued me to check out different types of meatloaf. So I pulled up the web TV, which was just a keyboard hooked to your normal TV, and looked it up and found a few recipes, modified those recipes. Basically a cheeseburger meatloaf, a brown sugar and ginger meatloaf, and a bacon wrapped meatloaf that I saw on TV. So what I did is I combined those three meatloafs and made my own meatloaf. However, over the years I've changed, modified, added things, changed things, breadcrumbs on one, and so on and so forth. I usually don't put mashed potatoes on, but I was kind of feeling it this time. I wanted to go something easy, something that I could make different than normal. You'll see one of the key ingredients that I used in place of the brown sugar was oatmeal brown sugar, instant oatmeal. And since I had maple brown sugar instant oatmeal on hand, I used that, and it worked out great. The meatloaf turned out fantastic, and here's the recipe on how to do it. First, we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Then add some minced garlic, about a tablespoon. I accidentally put a little too much, I had to take some out and add a little bit more. Some diced onions. I bought these pre-diced, but they work great. Let those sweat down a little bit. Chopped up some mushrooms. I only added this in the video because I like when I chop mushrooms, it looks and feels more professional. Clear spot for the mushrooms. And then add about somewhere close to 2 tablespoons more of extra virgin olive oil. Then go ahead and add in your mushrooms. You're going to do about a teaspoon of oregano. I don't measure apparently, but it's about a teaspoon, I would imagine. A teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And then you want to do a little bit of coarse black ground pepper. And then I turn it to fine chop of sea salt. About a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of Johnny's seasoning salt. You can use any seasoning salt you like, of course, but I usually use Johnny's. It has more of a flavor that I am used to and use all the time. So then after you get a little color on the mushrooms, then you go ahead and just mix it all together. Let that get a little bit more color, and then go ahead and turn off the heat and let it set while you finish up the rest of the preparation. I used about 4 pounds of ground beef for this, and I just put in the first half first, about 2 pounds of ground beef. Then I add 3 eggs. here's the instant oatmeal, the maple brown sugar. I used, since it was 4 pounds, I used a pack per pound, so I used 4 packs of instant oatmeal. Some sliced black olives. Just put a whole can of that in there. Now the sauce, I don't like to use ketchup so much unless I'm doing a traditional meatloaf, so I used spaghetti sauce, and you want to pour about 3/4 of the can in. Leave a little bit for the top, the bottom. Then I went ahead and laid the other 2 pounds of ground beef, mixed it all together. Then you want to do this in layers, so I put in a layer, flattened it out, about half, as much as I could get, about half of the mixture in there in a Pyrex baking pan. Then I added Mexican blend cheese, shredded cheese, layer of that, and then I went ahead and poured the sauteed onions and mushrooms layer on top of the cheese. Sounds like I'm scraping the pan. It's the wooden spoon, but yeah, it sounds like it. Go ahead and smooth that out to a nice layer. Then the rest of the meat mixture, and you're gonna want to kind of form it into kind of like flat hamburger patties, basically, to get most coverage. Try to get as much of the top covered as you can. Then take the remainder of the spaghetti sauce and go ahead and pour that on. Smooth it out. Nice even layer of sauce. Then go ahead and add some real bacon bits. Just a nice layer for that. Turn it to 420 for an hour and put it in center rack and let it cook. Now I'm using 73% lean ground beef, so there's going to be a lot of fat rendered out of that, so you're going to want to drain some of it when you get to that level. But here I'm just warming up the water for the instant potatoes. Put in 2 packages of that. You're going to want to add a little bit more water than the suggestion is, 2 cups per package. You're going to want to do 2.5 per package. Get a little thinner mashed potatoes in, so you can spread it across the top a little easier. You can see that all the fat is boiled out. I went ahead and drained about half of it. You want to leave some. You don't want to dry out the meatloaf. So then you go ahead and see how they already kind of thickened up by sitting for a little while. They're still spreadable though, so that's good. Had I made the 2 cups per package, it would have been a little harder and thicker to spread and really messed up that top layer of meatloaf. And then some crispy topper onions. I know there's onions in it already, but this adds a nice crunch and a good flavor. just a little extra layer of flavor. And then just back in 10 more minutes. That's just to cook the potatoes back to warm and crisp up the onions a little bit. You can see they got a little crispier on top. And go ahead and carve up and serve. I would like to give a shout out to Julia Pacheco, is one of the YouTubers I watch that she does 5-minute or 5 ingredient meals, quick easy meals, crock pot meals, dump and go meals. That's kind of where this niche is landing, I believe, so I give her some credit for that. If you haven't subscribed to her before, go ahead and go check her out and give her a subscription. It's steaming hot still. And there it is. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.